What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on this NFC, AFC North. Right? Did I put I put NFC, but it's the AFC North that is, in my opinion, I'm gonna change that before we go live. But it's the AFC North. In my opinion, I know we only 2 weeks in, but I'm kind of disappointed in these teams. Before the season started, I was hopeful. I thought only team that I thought in the AFC North, only team I thought that was in trouble would be the Cleveland Browns because they don't have their quarterback yet. I like Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco used to quarterback here in Baltimore for years. He won a Super Bowl here, and he was really good for the Ravens. I like Joe Flacco. I think Joe Flacco is good for the Cleveland Browns. With the Cleveland Browns having two rookie quarterbacks, I think it's good for them to sit behind Joe Flacco and watch how Joe Flacco conducts himself, watch how Joe Flacco operates. I think that's good for them, right? With that being said, I thought that was the only team that probably in this AFC North that was going to struggle. Then I watched my Ravens when we played and we lost to the Buffalo Bills, and it just seemed to me more of the Ravens. Like the media want people to think that the Ravens have this great defense, and I haven't been really impressed with our defense, the Ravens defense, in years. They say, well, we the run stopping defense. The Ravens sell out on a run. That's true, but their defense, like this Ravens defense, is not the 2000 Ravens defense. It's not the 2012 Ravens defense. It's that they play hard against the run, but they're not exceptional, and they don't have a pass rusher, so they really don't. They don't put any pressure on the ball, and so that's why teams are able to come back on the Ravens in the fourth quarter, like when the game, like down the stretch, even in close games, like I'm not really, I don't have any confidence in the Ravens. And when they played the Bills, sure enough, they gave up a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter. I don't know whether to contribute it to coaching. Like if you're doing something, you know the personnel that you have. And so if you're doing something and it's not working, then you got to change it up. You got to do something different. I don't like the prevent defense because the prevent defense is just, it's people know how to defeat that now. That's an old defense that people are used to seeing that they know how to defeat. So unless the Ravens really, number one, they're gonna have to get a pass rusher, which I don't know where they're gonna get a pass rusher from. With Michael Parsons now being in Green Bay, I don't know where they're gonna get a pass rusher from. But they gotta find ways to hold that lead. If like I remember back in the day when the Ravens had a lead, they would, like any team that had a lead, if you had a lead going into the fourth quarter, they would just pin their ears back because they knew that the team had to throw. So they'd pin their ears back and they would just go after the quarterback. That was the strategy. That prevent defense is just nonsense. That was the strategy. The strategy, though, to pin your ears back. And that's when you get your sacks. That's when you force turnovers because you know that they're throwing. But if the Ravens know that you're throwing and you still able to get behind their cornerbacks and hit them for 20 and 30-yard gashes at a time, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. So I don't really have any confidence until the Ravens show me something different. I don't have any confidence in them. That's number one. So don't believe the media when the media says that the Ravens got a top 5 defense and all that. Their defense is very much flawed. So that's the thing with the Ravens. Then with the Steelers, I thought that the Steelers were going to be pretty solid this year because when you look at like the Steelers always have a strong defense with the guy Watts. He's the anchor on the defense, right? And he pressured the ball. He gets sacks and he stopped the run. So the defense is still it's the Steelers defense. Their defense is what it is. So with a solid run game and an experienced quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, I thought that the Steelers would be able to do better than what a lot of people were thinking they're going to do, right? And so, but watching them, I think that the Steelers will do pretty good. Like I said, because they have that defense, they don't really need Aaron Rodgers to perform like he did in Green Bay, like to carry the offense, because that's not the Steelers. Like that's not Pittsburgh's MO. They want to run. They want to be able to run heavy and throw in different spots. And I think at Aaron Rodgers' age, I think Aaron Rodgers will be able to do that. So I think the Steelers pretty solid, right? They're pretty solid. Now with the Cincinnati Bengals, I think Cincinnati they usually start off slow, and this year is not the case. But now Joe Burrows is hurt, and I don't know how long Joe Burrows is going to be out. But if Joe Burrows can't stay healthy, even if he come back, if he only miss a game or two, and he comes right back in, then you have to worry about him like whatever his injury is, like re-aggravating that injury. So, and that's always been the thing with Joe Burrows. Can Joe Burrow stay healthy? You know, um, Cincinnati defense, I like their defense. Their defense is solid. Their wide receiving core, I like their wide receivers. Their running back is solid. But the thing is, it's going to be Joe Burrows. Like everything really hinges on Joe Burrows, and can Joe Burrows be, can they keep him upright for the season? I don't know. That'll be the thing, right? Usually when you talk about this AFC North, you see the AFC North as a team that is like this conference, this division. They always say this is the black and blue division because they're so physical. Like these teams just beat up on each other. All these teams have good running games, really good running backs, and they just beat up on each other. But I don't see that being the case this year. I see these guys as whoever comes out of this, come out of this division, probably going to be like backing their way into the playoffs because really these first 2 weeks, neither one of these teams in this division really look like they are like impressive at all. I don't see in either one of these teams being impressive at all. So I don't know what's going to happen. Now it's not like I'm jumping off the bandwagon, but I still just want to be honest about the situation. Like be realistic. I just got to be realistic. Ravens defense, like I said, they need a pass rusher. And even with a pass rusher, I don't know if it's coaching because you can't always get what you want. You got to be able to make what you have. You got to be able to make that work. If you don't have a strong pass rusher, then you gotta find other ways to get in there, pressure the ball, blitzes. Even when the Ravens blitz, sometimes they still they don't even get to the quarterback. It's just crazy with the Ravens. I don't know, but don't believe, like I said, don't believe the hype when it comes to the Ravens defense because they 17 fourth quarter leads that they have given up since Jim Harbaugh has been was it John Harbaugh? John Harbaugh has been the coach. 17. That's a lot of fourth quarter leads. So we'll see. And then you got to keep Lamar healthy. But I don't know what to say about this AFC North, man. I thought it was going to be the black and blue division. It's not looking like it. Um, yeah, I'm not. I'm well, like I said, what I have seen thus far from all of these teams in this division, I've been less than impressed. and that's with Lamar and the Ravens too. Even though because Lamar, you don't want to have to put up 30 points every game. You can't put up 30 points every game and expect to go to the Super Bowl. And I said that this year for the Ravens and for Lamar, this is like a do or die because you don't know how long this window is going to be open for Lamar and the Ravens. Like if they don't get it done this year, I think it's do or die. So they're gonna have to really get it together. They had to get it together. And I just see that. And then another thing about the Ravens, their secondary just makes so many just goofy plays, man. Just and they got veterans back there. So I don't know what to say. That's basically it, man. Like I said, I'm not impressed with this AFC North. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.